he just had great rhythm. He really he got his whole body into contact. This is a guy who was a freshman All-American a couple years ago, kind of showing that same idea. And what we found is this is, to us, the best way to teach our guys how to use their whole bodies. We talk about this connection point, the halfway point. But sometimes it can be tough to check your guys on video because you can't tell exactly, how far are the hips here. So one thing that came up with that is this is just, we looked at tons of hitters on Right View Pro, all the best guys, and what we came up with was when their bat is parallel to the ground, like you can see on both our hitters here, we just drop it right in and look, how far forward are their hands. And what we found is that, if their hands are at about their, belt buckle to the front of their hip, that's a pretty connected swing. And you can see on both those guys, their lead arm's still tight to their body. That's to us a sign of that they're using their whole body to swing the bat and not just their arms and hands. Obviously here's even better. Pujols on the top, him in that same position, and you can see his hands, the knob is at his belt buckle. And then, we just had a mental guy talk there. Check out the bottom picture. See our on-deck routine we got going on there? He's ready to hit. And here's Joe Marks doing the same thing. When he's in that bat-like position, his knob is right at about his belt buckle there. So that's kind of, that's how we teach it to them. This is how we kind of test it. If we're looking at it, we teach it with that halfway position. Here's kind of the most common disconnect we see is what I talked about earlier, where their hands get out in front. They're using more of their hands and arms to swing the bat. And the only problem with this is they're not going to have much power, like I saw in my study. And honestly, we've just estimated that this is probably about 90% of the hitters we get in our program. They're real handsy when they come in. And I think that makes sense because I think all our lives, everything we do, we use our hands. So it just makes sense, ball's coming at me, how am I going to hit it? I'm going to use my hands to do it. The other thing is, you can be a good hitter doing it. And I think it's, honestly, it's a kind of easy way to teach it too. But Tim Collins in his book, Good to Great, he talks about good is the enemy of great. And our goal isn't to have good hitters, but great hitters. So I want our guys to try to be, linked up and connected. And here's what this would look like, at that halfway point. His hands are in front of that line. When he gets to that bat-lag position, his hands, they're at his front foot there. And this was a good hitter. He was over 2 years, not a ton of at-bats, but he was .340, but only 20% extra base hits. Another hitter we had who was a good hitter, but you can see him in front of that line. And then at about his front hip when he's in that bat-lag position. Okay, I learned this one the hard way. I did that study. I thought, it's lower half, it's your core. Let's get after that stuff. But the thing I learned is that more is not always better. And I think you can get connected the other way, too. And kind of what this looks like, we don't see this as often, so I had to pull this one out of the camp file. You can see his hands and bat are behind that line. Another surefire way to see this is that the elbow of their top hand, of their top arm, gets in front of their knob in their hands, and that's kind of a surefire cue that they're dragging the bat through the zone. And problem with this is we just have too much of a time limitation in hitting. Our goal with our guys is not to have this massive separation between their hips and shoulders. We want it to be tight and quick and connected, not long and strong. Again, here's what it should look like. Here's another example of one of our guys who's kind of dragging it there, and we think is disconnected the other way. Okay, so what have we found to be benefits of talking about connection with our guys? Obviously, one is they have more power, but we feel like that's much more than just hitting home runs. The guy on the top there, that's our 170-pound center fielder. And I want him to have a perfect kinetic link. I want him to be connected in his swing because I want his ground balls harder. I want his line drives, going into gaps and getting by for a double or a triple. So I think I want 1 through 9 to have this type of a swing. His body position is probably going to be different as far as, trajectory that he's going to hit it, but I want him connected. I think having a connected swing, I think it leads to him being more consistent too. Because what I think happens here is, if I'm really